Hello everyone. Today on my daily fixing stuff we have my 2007 Yamaha pw80. We were out on the trails today. It was muddy, as you can see, lots of mud surrounding the spark plug and the motor, air filter. We were trucking along and it died, so we took it back home. And now I'm going to try to figure out what's wrong with it. My guess is it isn't getting any air. It was a very snorkeled sound, like it wasn't sounding right at all. So now what we're going to do is multiple things. We're going to do a basic cleanup where, hold a second please, I'll get my chair. I messed up. I should have hosed this off when I got home. That's what most people do with dirt bikes. They bring them home and hose them off. I'm still getting used to trusting that much, you know, my electrical components. So what I'm going to do is etch it off with my screwdriver. Okay? I'm going to speed forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my screwdrivers as like a pick to get all the excess off. I'm going to spray it down with a little bit of cleaner and blast it with my air compressor. Okay? Because I don't want to take this spark plug out and then for all the mud to just go into there. So what I'm going to do is clean all this up real good before I take the spark plug out. Hopefully I'll find a fouled plug. Then I will clean the plug, kick it over, clean the filter and see if it starts. Air compressor is always your friend. I would not do this with the spark plug out. I am doing this in a certain way as if I would without the camera on. It's still not the cleanest. These screws, these 4 screws, will expose the plate for the element for the air filter. I'll take these out real quick. You obviously want to make sure you have the right screwdriver. That one's starting to strip immediately. Okay, well, this one came out fine. One of them's a bit chewy, but God knows the last time this filter was off. I did not check this filter when I bought it. I've never had it off. Always the pressure, I guess, was starting to round a little bit, but I was able to squeeze some pressure to get that thing to turn. I'll get these other 2. I need a different screwdriver, so it's so caked. I'm not going to be able to get in my needles around there. I'm going to try to get a bigger screwdriver that has a little more, a little more torque is your friend. We're gonna try and get that thing undone while you guys watch. Very stuck, but you can still see it. Okay, what I'm gonna try to do is use a bigger screwdriver that can maybe grab the outsides of this. Because, like I said before, this screw comes out, it is not going back in there. Okay, I was able to crack it loose. What I did was use a smaller screwdriver to really pick at it so the definition of the screw came back a little more. And I squeezed it a whole bunch and it's coming out. We're going to unscrew this and see what the hell we have behind this. If I had to go and actually buy the screws for this, I would make sure to get a hex head or like a 8mm or something like that. It'd be a lot easier to get back off in the future. So definitely would recommend changing these to anyone unless you have a really nice and clean one where these are in really good shape, which I guess is possible, but my suggestion is to change these. Okay, they're off. We're off. We're going to pop this off. See what we got here. I guess you should use multiple. I use a flathead to get that bastard in there. Alright, there we go. Look at that nastiness. Ew. Where is even the intake? Where's the intake? And then over on this side, you have where it's actually going into the carburetor, which is right there. You could take this off and it would eliminate it too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take that off too, and then we're going to check the spark plug. And if the spark plug just looks fouled, I'm going to put it back in and try and start this thing to make sure it's something silly. So this screw right here is the one that connects the air filter to the carburetor. There's a bunch of nastiness in here. When I take this off, it's going to make me probably want to take the carburetor apart, which isn't the end of the world, but gives us a direction as to what we're dealing with here. Be careful with these. These rubbers like to fall apart because they're brittle after a while. But since it's keeping a tool cart around is a good thing too, so you don't end up like me leaving stuff all over the place. Alright, let's see here. No nastiness in there, which is a good thing. Okay, so whatever was sucking didn't suck that far. So now we're gonna make sure that this is all clean off of here, and we're gonna take the spark plug off. And then you're gonna make sure there's no debris. Blow out real good around the spark plug hole before you take your spark plug out, because you don't want a crud in there. And another thing I would do is once you have the plug out, turn over the engine before you put the spark plug back in. Make sure there's no crap in there. No boogers and mud and stuff. Let's see. It's a lot by the motor by the plug. This plug is obviously black, very black, which means it was running rich, which means it wasn't getting enough air or too much fuel. Clean the plug by either using air and a rag or using a defouler, which I happen to have. So I'm going to go over there and blow the spark plug off and put it back in here. And then we're going to kick it over and see what happens. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot cleaner. So now I'm going to put that back in the motor. Very easy to do since there's no compression. I'll put my spark plug back in there. This is a very common set of things you can do with a two-stroke, is all it takes. So really, I like bringing my tools. Even if you're just going with the kids and letting the kids ride or whatever, bring tools, because a lot of day ruiners can be fixed with just a couple little tools. Don't take a whole lot usually to get these going back, but I could be jinxing myself. I walked into this assuming I knew the problem, which, yeah, I could be right or I can just be an assumer. It's going to act like a no choke right now because even if you choke it, the air filter isn't there, which is going to increase airflow that the choke isn't going to be able to account for. So we're just going to tighten this plug back down. Make sure spark plug in there, you know, boogers in there. Get her on there nice and tight. You gotta make sure you get that click, that reassuring click. Where is it? Alright, kick and see what happens. All I did was clean the spark plug off and remove the air filter. So now it has optimal airflow. It's not freezing cold out here, so it should fire. If it doesn't fire, I need to verify spark, and we'll go through that if this doesn't work. Starving for air was all it was. But if that wasn't the case, I would have checked spark next. So we're going to review. If it gets smothered, it can't breathe, it probably can't run. Clean the air filter, change your plug, repeat. Before you go into the carburetor, I mean, you could go into the carburetor if you want to, but it isn't necessary every time. Start with the little stuff, and you may be able to save your day with your kids. Just clean that plug off, maybe even keep extra plugs with you, because two strokes are known to foul. So you may be better off keeping extra plugs that are already gapped. You can just swipe the plug out and continue. Make sure your air filters are clean. One of the issues I could think is how low this bike sits, and the stuff we were putting this thing through was definitely rough. And the imports are right here. The air intake holes are right here. Gets sucked up into the box and goes down through the tube. That's not a lot of air passageway. So in theory, if those little guys right there got clogged up, you're not getting any air to your motor. So another thing I'm going to do is take my air compressor while I have the carburetor's intake clogged or plugged off with a piece of paper or something. I'm going to clean this out with some ether, and I'm going to blow these out, and I'm going to blow out my filter and probably replace it. It proves the theory. These things can suck up some serious water and mud. If they can't breathe, that's probably your problem. If it sounds like just a bog-nose spark, that's probably exactly what it is. Carburetor is blocked off, okay? So there ain't nothing getting in there that I'm going to blow out of here. Now, I'm going to take my handy dandy air tool and blow it out. See what kind of crap we get coming out of there. Let's see if we see something as I do this. So now I blew those out, and a lot of crap came out. I'm going to shoot some ether in that area too, because this is crusty. Look at that in there. That is the last resort before it gets to your motor, okay? All that crud. That's after I've already blown it out a bit. So I'm going to clean all that out real good. Screwdriver, ether, you know how to clean stuff. We're adults. And then I'm going to replace this filter. This is the induction box that holds the shit together, stuff together. This is the filter. Looks older than me. I could blow it out, but that looks really cheap. Replace the lens. If you want to be able to trust your equipment, clean it out. Very simple machine. And that's it though. Need a basic air system clean with a plug clean. That's all you usually have to do with these. Hope you learned something. Have a good day.